My mother was addicted to drugs, and so I struggled with immunity issues and things like that when I was younger.
My trauma and my bullying helped form how I treat others. It will never be who I am. From the age of 9, I played basketball. I always thought I was going to be in the Opals and then the WNBA, but then I didn't grow past the age of 14. You start looking at how everyone else is developing on court and you look at yourself. I watched a lot of my teammates go into state teams, into Australian teams, and I was just never quite there. So I think self-doubt creeps in quite quickly when you start to compare yourself to other people. I did everything that I could to be involved in the game that I loved and the only game that I knew. So I started reffing and I started coaching. As I grew up and did more and more activities around basketball, there was a lot of scrutiny as to why I was there.
In case you haven't seen it, Kevin Love made headlines today.
It's not just athletes where this is a taboo topic. This is for all of us.
Everybody's going through something, and everybody, has things that you can't see, you can't touch, that they're walking around with every day.
You look at somebody like Kevin Love, who sits in a very scary arena of a global audience, and he stuck his foot out and he said, "Sometimes I'm not well." What Kevin Love has done is create a voice for a generation, and it's been a trickle-down effect. I think in 2021 we've seen multiple sports players step out of their comfort zone and tell the world that they wanted to take a break. It's inspiring for me to see other people do it too. I think what I do now on the platforms that I have really stems from my early teen years through to my early 20s. When I was growing up and I went through trauma and I went through sexual assault, it was just alone. It was just being so alone. And you don't tell anybody because you're afraid to tell people. What are they going to think? Was it actually my fault? If you're getting hate comments, you're doing the right thing. I can guarantee you for every crappy comment that comes in, I get 5 phenomenal DMs from people who say that I've changed the way they see themselves. If you can step outside your house and say you have changed one person's perception, potentially saves one person's life with a conversation, maybe cared for one person just that little bit more, I think you've done a good job for the day.
The Australian thing is funny. It's still wild to me that I live here, and I've lived here for like 6 years now. I mean, pregnant, married, this was never a part of the plan. Like, it wasn't a part of any blueprint that I had put together. I blocked out a lot of my childhood. It was a lot of trauma and some abandonment issues, things like that I kind of dealt with throughout my life. My main memory is running around kind of trying to be the boss and kind of staying to myself more than anything else. I was a track and field athlete initially because my brother did, and that's my older brother, and I did what he did. When I was about 14 years old is when basketball took that number 1 seat for me. Initially, it was just my father. I would go to his games. He played for the military, the Air Force team. Didn't have much interest in it really, but he thought he was really good, and I enjoyed listening to him and his friends talk about the sport afterwards. Come on. I started being in the gym all the time, like, oh yeah, good morning. Understanding I had a lot of weaknesses because I started a bit late, so just wanting to catch up and wanting to be the best that I could be. Thought I was really good, but I wasn't. So like in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm just as good as all these girls getting drafted. Like, that's bullshit. But I remember just watching people's names get called and be like, yo, I can play with her, like I can guard her, or, you know, I'm just as good. After the draft, my goal was to get into the WNBA. If I could do that, then I made it. First few years, I think I was in Germany first year, Portugal second year, France third year, and that third year is when I got invited to the Seattle Storm training camp. Yeah, I was excited about my opportunity. It was all about like just head down, work, and that's all I knew. That's what my father installed into me. That's how I had gotten to the point that I was at that point. So I went in thinking just kill. Pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball. Sue Bird's on that team. Lauren Jackson's, those are stars of the team. Clearly wasn't on their level. Pound the ball, ladies, harder, harder. I did think that I had something to offer. Unfortunately, the universe disagreed, and yeah, it just didn't happen that way. Backwards back. Balls on my feet, head behind the toes. Then they came back the next season and invited me to camp again. And when they did that, I was like, yo, this is definitely my time. They saw the grind, they saw what happened. Played really well on a lot of the exhibition games. I was having like 15 points, 4 steals, D'ing people up because that was kind of my calling card. Yeah, it was again, wasn't in the cards. I ended up being one of the last cuts that season as well. And that was when that was tough. Send the ball where you want it to go, throw it. Not sticking on a roster or staying through an entire season in the WNBA or having a long WNBA career, that took some time to accept. But right now, we just gotta let life be life and go with the flow. Good. Now pop the wrist. Think about the wrist right now. Much better. Australia in general gives a lot back to me. They've had me go speak to kids and speak to colleges, and when I do that, I'm like, oh, okay, like I start looking at my life, I'm like, hey, I've done some things, but it took me for them to like ask me about my life, for me to actually look at what I've accomplished and be proud of it. So footwork here, so we'll start from here and then work our way back. When kids come to me about what their goals are and what they want to accomplish, my first thought is show me. Come to 6 o'clock sessions every morning and show me you have the grit, the drive, the necessary tools to then accomplish like the skill set that you need to do it. And all of that is mental, all of that is discipline, all of that is resilience. You can read textbooks, you can, try to figure out how that works, but from my experience, it doesn't go like that. So when people say to me, oh, this other company's trying to do what you do, my response is always like, cool, but you can't do what I do. I've lived what I do. Stay nice and low, snake through, pulling up about the elbow. On my shot. Being pregnant and knowing that she's coming is probably one of the most humbling experiences of my life. Slide. Quick. Keep me here, keep me here, keep me here. Now go. Good. Losing my father, I lost him about 3 months ago. Losing him, he was my staple. He was demanding when I was young. He was my support when I lacked confidence. He was excited for me to have her and to be, 4 weeks away from giving birth. All I can say is I at least have the tools to go through the pain that's about to go through, and I'll grow from it. That I'm sure of. When you start getting tired, you need to make sure mentally you're thinking about exactly what you want to accomplish.